Well, hello everyone. It's like you talked about. It's like for can opener comedy. It's like number 8 here is talking about like we say with the can opener, and then right here is you got right here is like what you call is like a bowl, and then of course this right here, of course, could be it's like represent. It's like for a bowl of soup right here. You got right here's a bowl of soup. Ah ha 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 ha. But other than that, like here, we gotta talk about with the bowl of soup, and then talk about anybody probably thinking about with the bowl of soup is it knowing about like with say with the can opener. You have right here, you got right here at the can opener on the top, and anybody probably thinking about with the can opener on the top, and then knowing about and anybody probably thinking about get tired of opening those cans. It is tired of opening those cans, and like talking about like with the can opener right here is like if you pull it on the top and then pull it up and then pull it backward, to open up the can, right? Like open up the can. But on the hand too, that knowing about like by the time you get the can open, it is and talking about like what you call is like what you call maybe a full cup of water, about a full cup of water, right? A full cup of water will equal to about what you see of these. And people I think about 1 cup of water would equal to about right here. Like or like talking about right here is like talking about it's like with the can open, and then talking about here like with the say as with the porky beans, like with the porky beans. But other than that, like talk about it's like with the porky beans. I talk about with the porky beans, with the porky beans, with the porky beans. Other than that, like talking about right here, like we say with the can open, like talking about if you want to get the can open right here, like talking about like about taking a hammer right here, and like just like talking about like with the hammer right here. I said like, well, I don't know if I'll buy it like talking about if it's chang or if it's chang, but like talking about like really, you don't want to put too much pressure on the can as it is already, right? Because more likely anybody probably think about you don't require any refrigeration. Of course, they don't need any type of pang. Or what you call is like if you have it stored somewhere, say with room temperature, they don't even need a pang. Other than that, like talking about is like trying to get a open up with the hammer, and right here is like talking about it's like say with the cooking meter. It is I talk about it's like ten. Now like there we go right there is the cooking meter. Anybody probably think about but yeah. They go right here is like what you call like let's say it was a light bulb, like they're talking about like if you want to smother it in butter, or if it's smothered in onions, it is, or maybe what you call is like some type of say a garlic powder, like it's some like garlic, or if it's like what you call is cheese, like the power of cheese, huh? Like talking about with butter, okay, with butter, Other than that, like talking about right here, you got right here, like we see is a light bulb, and of course right here is like right here is like what you call, it's like for light bulb, and of course right here is that you got here is like what you call maybe soon for 2 light bulbs, and of course with these right here could be say would be maybe food products. Like what type of food products, huh? Like soap as with onions, or if it's radishes, or if it's like any type of tomatoes or anything like that, like and I talk about is like say with the food products it is, and like talking about like what you call like Campbell's chicken and soup, like an better, like better. Other than that, like talking about There now right here, you have right there is like a guy right there as a balloon, and of course right here is a sippy cup. It's like with the sippy cup, and like talking about I drink the sippy cup. It's like some pool with juice. And then talking about right here, you got right here is a silver, like what you call not really a silver hole, but other than that, like talking about right here is like and like talking about like with the fork and spoon. If most of us are familiar, like talking about if you were to set the table, of course, set the table. If you were to say open up to say a can of sweet peas, or if it was like what you call maybe a can of tomatoes right here. And just knowing about you set the table. And if you were to set the table like this right here, am I talking about if you were to set the table right here, and anybody will probably thinking about that really, that you set the table, and I knowing about if you would if you would go ahead and put the fork and spoon say on each side of each other, but just knowing about the fact about that, yeah, if you were to serve say a bowl of soup it is, and it knowing about with the bowl of soup is that knowing about it's like what you call it's like for that certain temperature it is knowing about is it your favorite. Or is like what you call, it's like something that's like, well, this is what you call it. It's like, dude, this is what I made for you. This is what I made for you. So more likely, I really recommend it. Of course, go ahead and eat it. Yeah, go ahead and have it. It is, and knowing about this, like, you know, you want to know how long I spent, trying to get the can open today? Or if it's the fact about, this is my favorite recipes, huh? And I'm talking about, like people are thinking about, like whatever you do, do not touch, you see, the center of the can. Because other than that, like talking about that more likely, like, it's like going to be, it's like other than the fact about, as I talk about, it's like, then more likely that, you may, need that, we should call that special cleanup it is. Well, if you talk about maybe that special cleanup it is, anybody probably thinking about, for that special cleanup it is. And that knowing about, like what you're right here, is like with the recycling bag. With the recycling bag right here, and people are thinking about, it's like, so far as, say reusing, of course, it's the cans. But anybody probably thinking about that more likely, if there's another way of fixing a problem, or as I would say with the hammer, it is, like, talk about ting, 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 and then knowing about, like say with the measuring cup right here, is knowing about, it's like, what you call, other than a spoonful of sugar will make the measuring go down, right? Other than that, I talk about, as I would say, other than medicine, or if it's whatever it is, talk about with milk products or whatever, but so far as Campbell's soup right here is talking about, like, talking about right here, like it was a silver. And knowing about, people I think about that, really, that, knowing about, it's like, really, like, oh, okay, did you hurt your, did you wind up did you actually burn yourself, whenever you were cooking, it was, do you want a bowl of soup? Do you want a bowl of soup? I'm talking about right here. Do you want a balloon? Like how would you like to try, okay, this recipe right here, a third plate noodles. A third plate noodles, okay, maybe with a little balloon on top, like, oh, sure, I'll tell you so, okay, I am allergic to noodles, okay, I don't even like noodles, I never heard of it, okay, so, and all I'm talking about is like what you call, it's talking about, like, maybe if it's, let's say, with real chicken, along with maybe a little bit of a varnish or whatever you call it, and then knowing about, if I think any other food products it is, and knowing I don't like that. I actually like my soup, okay, hot. And say, hot and maybe smothered and say with a little bit of cheese on top, and maybe just a little pinch of salt, in the center. It is like But other than that, I talk about, say, with the soup that fills you up, right? And then knowing about right here, and then say with the bowl, and of course with the balloon. Like people that think about, like with the balloon, the type of recipe that lasts forever. The type of recipe, of course, like knowing about that I've been using for the past 15 years, right? Like talking about And I talk about, if I think about, like any type of tricks, of course, more likely you'll have, of course. I talking about, if I talk about juggling, of course, by handling the spoon, it's like if you were to be handling, it's like what you call, it's like, handling the spoon, it's like this, like an, like too, like that, here, like talking about, like so far as, like I thought I told you, 8 times, okay? Like who's gonna do the dishes? Like, Like, oh, well, I'll tell you so, okay? Trying to get the can open, okay? Maybe it's not as hard as it used to be, huh? Like, talking about, like, soup, or if it's potatoes, or if it's beans, or green beans, is it? Like, like, talking about, so far as talking about, it's like, the safe part, of course, about the can opener, right? Is talking about the fact that way how it works, about open the can, is knowing about the safe and of course the quality, and talking about it's like with the experience. It's like talking about like that. Yeah, you'll have fun doing it. You'll actually get the hang of it. Right now, I'm talking about right here. You got right here the can open, and then knowing anybody probably thinking about that rear eye, you know. If it was shined by what you call, like, what is the pro, like, what, oh look, what am I supposed to do with this? Or what am I supposed to do with that? You're supposed to open the can with it, man. Or ma'am, like, I don't know, I talk about, it's like we say, both between bowl of soup, and of course, say, with the soup, well. Alright, now I talk about, say, here with the can of potatoes. And then knowing about, like we say, with the sippy cup. And then it's like talking about right here, it's talking about, you know, for can opener county, and they say, along with say, like, so for can opener county, 8.